So we've talked about all the different lead channels, and I've got a couple of comments asking me what lists do I send these things to, or what list. It really depends on what you're targeting. Um, One of the advantages of being in New York, one of the few advantages of doing this business in New York, is that there's a lot of people here. So broad lists get you big numbers. So we like to send to broad lists such as defined by age. So let's say over age 55, and maybe living in the property for more than a certain period of time, maybe 15 years. That's a broad list. You're going to get a lot of people, and they work, and they're cheap. There are different sources to get those things from. Niche lists in New York are a little more complicated. So you can get a probate list. They're not so cheap. I think we had a vendor for $800 a month would get us everything in Nassau at $600 a month. We didn't have a lot of luck with probates, but we didn't really stick with it long enough to find out. Um, Tax delinquent lists are so not great because there's so many different taxes, and you can't really get that delinquent in New York because it goes to a lien and gets bought, and then it's not showing up in the person's name anymore. Um, a lot of the public data you can get in the rest of the country is not so easy to get in New York. So getting lists where people utilities are shut off or police lists, those things are hard. Code violation lists are very tough to get because there's so many different municipalities here, small villages and townships, and then um, cities, and a lot of them won't give them to you. It's hard to really do niche lists here because the public data just isn't great like it is in a lot of other states. Broad lists are great, and you can get some predictive modeling lists of some places that'll actually. We just started getting some lists of things that are predict properties that are predicted to be sold to investors in the coming months. Those are not easy, also, but it really depends on what you're doing with them, which channel you're going with. Are you mailing? Are you calling? Obviously, if you're calling, you need phone numbers. Most of the lists you're going to get cheap are not going to have phone numbers. So then it becomes another question of how to get those numbers. Um, but the niche lists in New York that I found have not been very extensive. They've either been too small or impossible to get. So we target more broad lists, either predictive modeling lists from vendors that figure out who should sell to an investor, or broader lists based on equity percentages and age and length of time. A good source for that is a list source or listability for broad lists. Also, DataZap is a good source, then they'll get your phone numbers too. DataZap with two P's. So it really depends. There's no easy answer to what lists you should be targeting. It depends how you're targeting and what you're looking to do.